This is breaking news from RTV6, working for you.
We begin this midday with breaking news. Governor Holcomb expected to give another update on the state's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. A news conference just began at the State House. Let's take a listen.
You're being part of the solution, not the problem. So on behalf of the state, I thank you. But because both the infection rate and the death rate continue to climb, Indiana, we need to do more. Our neighbors and our economy need to see that we're taking steps that will help flatten the curve to ensure our healthcare system is able to treat the most vulnerable. To best do that, let me lay out 5 points. First, as of Tuesday, your state government personnel will not be a reason you have to get out of your house. The state will be reduced to only the absolute essential workforce level, such as state hospitals, police, prison staff, child protection services, health, and our already activated National Guard. We'll be maximizing remote work, online and call centers to continue core functions such as unemployment insurance and welfare applications. Whatever non-essential state business that has to be conducted in person will have to wait. Citizens shouldn't worry. This means all types of licenses issued by the state will automatically be extended by 60 days. And law enforcement officials are not going to be issuing citations for, say, expired driver's licenses or registrations. Second, let me also say how proud I am of our 5 central Indiana hospitals. In order to expand capacity and enhance coordination and save lives, we're activating a comprehensive healthcare-oriented emergency operations center jointly run by Marion County, our capital city, and the state. This center will centrally inventory and provide support for personnel, supplies like ventilators, masks, goggles, gloves, and gowns, and space as we move into the patient surge for COVID-19 phase. By supporting movement and coordination among all hospital systems, we will not leave any healthcare delivery system alone in their struggle to take care of Hoosiers, both those affected by the pandemic and those with other illnesses. I'm thrilled that our hospital systems have stepped up to participate in this innovative initial phase of the process. Eskenazi, Community, Ascension, IU Health, and Franciscan. They are all together going to quickly be able to respond to unmet needs and pool precious resources for the state's well-being. This is yet another example of Indiana responding to uncommon problems with uncommon solutions. Think about this. On March 1st, New York had 1 positive confirmed case of coronavirus. Today, 22 days later, they have more than 15,000, and it's growing, not slowing. Their hospitals are being overrun. That's what we're trying to manage and avoid, which is why we need to slow the spread, and we need to do it now. Yes, we started with the central Indiana hospitals, only because that's where we've seen the most community spread. Friday, Marion County had 47 positive cases. On Saturday, 82. Today, the number is 110. Overall, sadly, 3 Marion County residents have died. This hybrid approach will be replicated across the state to ensure we are the best prepared to address the spread in each quadrant of our state. Because we know COVID-19 is spreading statewide. On March 6th, Indiana had 1 positive case. Today, 259. Third, in times of trouble, in times of not being able to be in total control, in times of such uncertainty, many of us find comfort, find strength. In fact, we find guidance in our faith. Our statewide faith leaders have become in high demand, whether we all realize it or not. I want to thank all of our faith leaders who are live streaming their services. I was told yesterday 5 Central Indiana pastors live streamed their sermons to more than 50,000 Hoosiers. If ever there was an essential service, our houses of worship are on top of that list, right next to our doctors and nurses. Thanks to all the faith leaders for realizing the church is a body, not a building, especially in the difficult and different days ahead. We'll get back to the day when we can all join in person in full force. But until that day, let's continue to spread the word, not COVID-19. And fourth, to all our healthcare heroes out there pulling double shifts every day, putting their lives on hold so they can tend to others, this is your finest hour. And our entire state's depending on you like never before. To all the schools and churches and businesses like a long list, Subaru, Toyota, Fiat, Chrysler, and the biggest mall owner-operator in the world, Simon Malls, that have shut down. To General Motors, who is redeploying their Kokomo workforce and converting their production line to make ventilators. To all the breweries that have converted their businesses into hand sanitizer production lines. To all the manufacturers out there who have donated their own protective gear to hospitals and to the state. To all the businesses that have gone to multiple shifts to spread out the work and their workforces. To the union shops who are asking their contractors to drop off the needed items our hospitals are asking for. To all the gritty restaurant owners who are trying to survive by adapting overnight to a new to-go only business model. I've personally ordered to go every day to support our local entrepreneurs during these tough, unprecedented times, and I know large and long established restaurants have gone from, one told me the other day, 56 employees to 4. Small family-owned diners have closed. Without the tables turning, they can't afford staff, let alone the light bill or rent. So to everyone who's playing by the rules, to all those companies contributing to our war effort to slow the spread, we say thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we owe it to our private sector, the ones who risk their capital and put in endless work days and nights, who were, quite frankly, taken for granted during all those good times when our economy was booming just a couple weeks ago. We owe it to them to get through this as fast as we can. It was for that reason that last week I directed that for restaurants and bars to remain open, they must pivot to carry out only. Yet a week later, we know that's not being followed by all. And we know it only takes one bad apple to spoil the bushel. We know one infected person infects 2, and those 2 infect 2 more, and so on and so on. Today, I signed an executive order that instructs the ATC to suspend any and all food and beverage licenses for those who violate the order. Additionally, I signed another executive order that calls on all Hoosiers to hunker down. Stay at home. Unless you're going out on an essential errand or essential work or essential business. Other states have recently come out with similar directives. Ohio has stay at home. Kentucky yesterday evening rolled one out. Illinois a few days before then. It's because we're all seeing the same trends or waves coming, especially in the dense areas, but it is spreading to all counties. So stay home. Get groceries only when you need them, and only buy what you need. I'm telling you, the next 2 weeks are critical. That's March 24th through April 7th, if we're going to slow the spread. And we must slow the spread. My fellow Hoosiers, the state of our state is in a much different place than when I gave that annual address just over 2 months ago, back in January. But because we were one of the most recession-resilient states in America going into this, I know we'll bounce back better than some others. We'll continue to work with our federal partners at FEMA and the Army Corps of Engineers, the CDC, HHS, the President and the Vice President, and our own congressional delegation on both sides of the aisle to get the financial help to the people in need and get it here now. A year ago last week, we here in Indiana had 3,100 Hoosiers file for unemployment benefits. Fast forward exactly a year later, last week, we had 54,000 Hoosiers file for help. That's only in a week. And so whether you're an employee or an employer, whether you're dealing with mental, physical, or financial health issues, whether you're a small town or a big city, the state of Indiana will work with our federal partners as we steer through the rocky, shallow waters ahead. And lastly, fifth, here's something you don't often hear from elected officials, but it needs to be said. I want to thank our local press corps for putting out critically important information on the effects and impacts of the coronavirus. Make no mistake about it, this disease is killing people. Time is of the essence. And the best thing we can do for each other, for this generation and the next, and for our economy, is to get a handle on the virus by slowing the spread. That's what we have power over. That's the power of one, of you, and what you can do. That's your power. And that's the power that together will remain Indiana strong.
You just heard from Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb there. He has just announced what all of us expected, essentially a shelter in place for all Hoosiers. Here is what the governor just announced. He says this shelter in place will last from March 25th through at least April the 7th. State government will be reduced to essential personnel only. Houses of worship are being asked to hold online services only. Now, this shelter in place does allow people to go out and get essentials such as groceries or go to the pharmacy for necessary prescriptions, but otherwise much of the state going to be shut down from March 25th through at least April 7th. We'll have more on this coming up. We'll be back after this break.
American Idol, new tonight on ABC.
If you're just joining us, Governor Holcomb has ordered all Hoosiers to shelter in place starting Wednesday to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. Also today, more COVID-19 tests are being performed on a larger scale for healthcare workers in central Indiana. Today, Eli Lilly began a free drive-through testing program dedicated to doctors, nurses, and others who are on the front lines of the fight against the virus. The testing is taking place at Lilly's headquarters downtown. Right now, it is only open to active healthcare workers who have a doctor's order requiring a COVID-19 test. When times get tough, that's often when scammers strike. Next, watch out for criminals trying to take advantage of our coronavirus fears. And you're taking a live look at downtown. View to the north. Meteorologist Todd Clausen is standing by with a check at our Monday forecast. You're watching the news at noon on RTV6.
Weeknights at 5:30. This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
During these difficult days, one thing that hasn't changed is scammers coming after your money. In fact, more people might be at risk for scams in the midst of an economic crisis. Tim Maniscalco at the Better Business Bureau tells us those scams come in many forms.
We're in very unusual times right now, and unfortunately, the scammers take advantage of this. We have seen some scams out there regarding coronavirus. The one that really seems to be prevalent right now is one where there's this, quote, secret cure out there. This is coming either via email or social media. The scam says that there's this cure out there. A lot of times it will say that it's a natural cure, but it's being kept a secret right now. It's a government secret. So a lot of people are thinking, hey, there's some sort of conspiracy or something going on here, but I've got the inside track. I'm going to try this. Well, it's just nothing but a scam out there to try to get you to pull out your credit card, pay for this. There is no cure or no vaccine out there right now. But once again, they're just trying to make you think that, something nefarious is going on. The government's hiding something from you, and that they've got some sort of an inside way to get you this cure. So we have seen this. We have seen people reporting this to us, and it seems to be, one of those scams that is beginning to catch on out there because people are thinking that, there is some sort of cure out there where there really isn't. So just be very, very careful of this particular scam.
Tim, thank you. In the midst of a public health crisis, we have watched people all across the city reach out to their neighbors. Our Troy Washington explains how one apartment complex owner is showing tenants how getting through tough times is all about working together.
Victoria Apartments is located right across the street from the RTV6 studios. They reached out to us to explain how they are helping tenants through the COVID-19 pandemic.
It's the right thing to do, and it's a very, very small thing.
Doug Huntley owns the Victoria Apartments. On Tuesday, he used the complex's Facebook page to help his tenants rest a bit easier, despite all the worry swirling due to the coronavirus.
A lot of people were stressed. A lot of folks were talking about losing their jobs temporarily or permanently. So I was laying in bed the other night, and I thought, you know what, let's just have a little statement to everyone that says we're not going to evict anybody in a time of crisis for an inability to pay their rent.
The letter explains he won't be putting anyone out who can't afford to pay rent because of struggles brought on during this time.
We're supposed to shelter in place. It's kind of hard to do if you don't have a place. So I put the note up and I put it on Facebook, and the response has been really nice.
So far, he says his tenants who can pay are planning to. The offer, a 60-day eviction-free window, only applies to those in need.
No bad apples so far, so, maybe good begets good. Who knows?
Huntley admits he's never done this before.
I've owned the property since 1995, and this is a first for me.
For him, it's a no-brainer, no matter the extra expense making an exception might bring. But not all apartment complexes are working with their tenants. In fact, off camera, I talked to another resident at another complex who is still expected to pay rent on April 1st.
I guess not everyone feels the same way. It's scary for property owners, too. We have utilities and mortgages that are coming due, but you know what? We're all going to have to sacrifice a little bit, and this is just this is a small thing for us to do.
Working for you in downtown, Troy Washington, RTV6.
Troy, thank you. We're taking a live look right now downtown, view to the west. Todd, a little bit of lingering cloud cover there. When is it going to warm up? We know it's coming.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. By midweek, it's going to be much more spring-like here across central Indiana. These clouds, unfortunately, firmly in place right now across most of the area. I am expecting them to thin just a little bit as we go throughout the afternoon hours. We're never going to get rid of them, but by them thinning, that should allow the sky start to brighten a little bit, and then this temperature will start to climb. But it's been chilly and holding pretty steady all morning long at 38 degrees. The winds are out of the northwest right now at 9 miles per hour. So that northwesterly wind is going to help to dry us out and thin the clouds out, but it's also going to prevent these temperatures from warming much further throughout the course of the day. 42 in Bloomington as well as Lafayette, 39 in Tipton as well as Richmond, 38 in Greenfield. The mild air is just down to our south, and eventually we'll turn our winds more southerly throughout the remainder of the week, and that's going to help to boost our temperatures in the coming days back above normal. Our normal high this time of year should be right around around 55 degrees. Here's the clouds. No precipitation, though, so if you do need to go out and take a walk to get a break from being indoors, you'll just need to bundle up a little bit, but you can leave that umbrella at home. And looking back off to our west, the clouds are pretty firmly in place, so it's maybe just a peak of sunshine here or there throughout the afternoon and evening hours today, but brighter days will be ahead. Highs today only in the 40s to right around 50 degrees in southern locations. But going forward, the good news is we're going to warm up. The bad news is the overall weather pattern remains very active, and that's going to keep rain chances in our forecast. Tomorrow, the morning hours are essentially going to be dry. It's really the evening hours as we get closer to sunset, which is 8 p.m., that the rain chances will really start to climb across the area. So let me jump on TrueCast for you here. Ahead to 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. At this point, skies should be partly cloudy across the area. The clouds will increase throughout the afternoon, and then throughout the evening hours, this rain is going to overspread the area. The heaviest of the rain will likely be down to the south. Can maybe rule out the chance of a rumble of thunder, but it should not be widespread. And then as we work our way into Wednesday morning, it's really the opposite of tomorrow. We start off with the clouds, but then get into the sunshine as the day goes forward. So then temperatures will really start to moderate Wednesday with that additional sunshine. That's the day we get up to 60 degrees. Thursday, 64. Friday is 63. So today is going to be the coolest temperature for a high, at least, that we have throughout the entire week. Here's your 7-day planning forecast. So you see Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I have rain chances or storm chances in the forecast. None of those days are going to be a washout. We'll deal with some periods of rain here or there, but plenty of opportunity that you'll have to get out and enjoy the warmer temperatures heading our way. Meredith.
All right, Todd, thank you. We'll be right back after this break. If you're just joining us, a reminder of our breaking news this midday, a major step to hopefully contain the COVID-19 outbreak in Indiana. Governor Holcomb is ordering Hoosiers to stay at home, if at all possible, for a 2-week period. The shelter-in-place order begins Wednesday and remains in effect until April 7th. It means you will be expected to stay home unless you're going to get groceries or to the pharmacy or are helping others get those essentials. You are also exempt if you work in an essential business or activity. We have all this information on the executive order right now at theindychannel.com/coronavirus. And here is a look at the latest numbers from the state health department. There are now 259 confirmed cases of COVID-19 out of almost 2,000 tests that have been given so far. Perhaps some good news. The rate of increase in the number of cases was slightly down over the past 24 hours. 110 of those cases are in Marion County. Hamilton County is next on the list with 21 cases. 7 people in Indiana have died from the virus so far. Again, lots of information about how to keep you and your family safe at theindychannel.com/coronavirus. Let's get one final check of the weather with Todd Clausen.
And as we go throughout the day today, the clouds may thin just a little bit, but overall lots of clouds around, a high temperature of 47. Tomorrow slightly warmer, 53. Tomorrow rain will develop late in the day, closer to sunset, so most of your Tuesday's dry. Then there'll be some spotty showers around, but warmer temperatures Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. None of those days, though, that you see there on your screen that I am showing having rainfall is going to be a washout. In fact, some of the rain is only during the nighttime hours, so the daytime hours will be dry. And of course, we'll fine-tune the forecast here as we go throughout the remainder of the week. Meredith.
Todd, thank you, and thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. We hope you join us back here at 5. In the meantime, have a great afternoon and stay safe.